Hey there guys, welcome. My name is Rick Utzer here with AirgunWeb, your home for old school airgun reviews and where we tell you the facts, not fluff. Today's video is going to be on the Air Arms S510 TXS. This is their tactical, obviously, because you see it in this wonderful tactical stock. XS stands for the regulated system, and this one's in 22 caliber. It comes in multiple calibers, I think 177, 22, and 25. I like the 22 for this. I think it's got the right amount of power. We're pushing about 34 foot-pounds, which in a 22 is pretty decent. That is great for raccoon, squirrel, obviously squirrel, but raccoon, possum, armadillo, all of those kind of things is going to be right in this guy's wheelhouse here. We're looking at easy 50-yard accuracy, and on the right day, probably 100-yard accuracy. We're going to get to that, not in this video, but we're going to get to that. Today, we have some, like right now it's dead calm. It's beautiful right now, but we've had some wind back and forth. So I'm not quite sure what it's going to be like when we actually go to shoot this. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the cool features that we have. Obviously the chassis, which is really, really cool. But the rest of the system is going to be pretty much the same as any other S510 variant. One of the things that you can do with the S510 is you can vary the power. Now, does that have some value? Yeah, it really does. So if I'm shooting in my backyard, and when I lived in Lake Havasu, I was, my backyard was maybe 65, 70 feet long. And now I did shoot down the side of my house, so I had the full 20 yards, maybe 21 yards that way. But if it was tight. I mean, I had a hard time getting 20 yards clean. So, and I don't need like maximum power. I don't need 34 foot-pounds to shoot 21 yards. So how do you change the power? Well, a regulated gun, you may have to change the regulator or the hammer spring. You have to do a bunch of adjustments. But there are other ways to do it. And Air Arms has been doing it their way for a long time, and they're not the only ones that do it. But they just simply change the transfer port. So if you have a gun like this, you have a bottle here, you have the barrel here. So the air has to come out of here and go there. So it has to do a U-turn. That little port that kind of handles that transfer is called a transfer port. So as the air comes through here, it goes up and then out. And this little pin, you can see that little clear pin there. Let me pull this out here. That little guy, you may not be able to see it, but as I move the power adjuster, that actually moves. And so what you have is right now you have like a little tube that's about like this. That's just no restriction. And as I turn that, it rotates and creates a restriction between the air coming out of the plenum and the valve. So you have the plenum, the valve, and then you have the barrel. And so you have your pressure, then you have this little area called the plenum, which is you call it your charge. It's a specific amount of volume at a specific pressure. When you hit that valve with the hammer, it opens that plenum up and allows air to go out. That's what shoots your pellet. As you restrict that, you can decrease the velocity. So you can actually save on shots, and you can get it to where it's really more appropriate for the distance you're shooting. So if I'm shooting 7,500 yards, I'm going to want it wide open. It's shooting the 18-1-3s wide open at about 930, which is pretty much optimal. If it was like 1,100, then we want to be turning that down. But it's not. It's like 930, which at a 22, again, 18-1-3s at 930 is just about perfect. If I'm at 25 yards or 15 yards, and I turn this down, I'm going to get really good accuracy because they're still going to be very stable, but I'm going to get more shots. So I've done a little testing already, and I'll tell you that from five power levels, so 5, 4, and 3 all register fine on my chronograph. When we hit power level 2, it just goes bleh, it just barely makes it, and it won't register on the chronograph. So it's going to be under 600 feet per second, so we're not even going to bother with that. But I do want to show you what we're getting at 5, 4, and 3. And then we're going to shoot some groups at 50 yards. Hopefully the wind will hold out. We'll get some nice conditions. And then we'll shoot like a couple groups at like on power 5 and a power 4. I don't know that we'll try power 3. 50 yards may be a bit of a stretch because I know where that's shooting, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot anyway. So let's go ahead and start with, let's fill up our magazine. And the power adjuster actually has a ball detent. So back in the day when I first started shooting Air Arms, it was just there was no ball detent. So you just turned it and hoped it stayed where it was. and over time that got kind of sloppy. So I'm glad they chose to do the ball detent now. Okay, so let's see. Let's just start with some shots. And let me make sure we have a clear string here. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we're there. I'm on my FX chronograph. I've got my stuff set up, 1813s. We're at power level 5, and let's just see. Let's see where we're at.
930.
I mean, it's right on. We'll take 3 shots each power setting.
930. 930.
Okay, so I'd say that's consistent. Let's drop to power level 4. And just so you guys know, that is, just like I said, 34.8 foot-pounds, like perfect. So that's really good in a 22. Oh, there it is right there. Let's try again.
895.
Okay.
898. 895.
Okay, so a little bit of variance on power level 4, but we only dropped like 30 feet per second, really. So you'd have to like run a whole shot count to see what the difference was. But if you got more shots on power level 4, it's to say it's like efficient there, then there's really no reason. That extra 30 feet per second really isn't going to matter, frankly, because we're still 32.3 foot-pounds. So we're still doing very well energy-wise. And I don't think you would need that extra little bit, but if you got more shots, that would be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and go to power level 3. Okay.
796.
Okay, so there's a 100 foot per second drop.
793. 796.
Okay, so very little shift in those two. Obviously, power level 5 was very consistent. It hasn't been quite that good in the past, but it was pretty good then, wasn't it? Let me go ahead and, we got a pellet stuck. Let's just clear it.
798.
Okay, so what I want to show you is that if we go back and check these settings, you're going to see that those velocities they remain very consistent. So I'm going to go back to power level 5 again, and we're just going to shoot a couple shots here.
928.
There we go.
928.
Okay, so still like 928, 930. Gone to power level 4. Let's see where we're at here.
895. 895.
Okay, very consistent. I mean, we're right where we were before.
793. 796.
Okay, so if you're shooting at 5, 4, or 3, you're going to have consistency. If you move between them, it goes right back to where it was. So we're dealing with a very consistent way to control power, and because you're not messing with the regulator, because you're not messing with the plenum, because you're not messing with the hammer spring, you actually keep that consistency. You don't wear parts out because you're not playing with these delicate things. Like I've heard people talk about the regulator maybe creeping on them, and I don't know if that's because it's not a very well-built reg, or it's just they've worked it a lot and it's not as consistent. I just don't know why that is, but my thinking is that if it works well and you're not touching it, it's probably going to last longer than if you're mucking with it all the time. So the idea of just having the transfer port restrictor to give you the change in power, I think that's really cool. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to shoot at full power at 50 yards. Let me check my pressure. All right, so I'm at 200 bar. We're going to shoot at full power at 50 yards, and then we're going to shoot at 4 power at 50 yards. And if time permits and the wind doesn't go up, maybe we'll try and shoot at 3 power. 3 power I think could be a stretch at 50, but you know, we're here, cameras are rolling, we might as well give it a shot. I do need to go start another camera. I'm going to try recording through the scope. That has been a little iffy, but you know, if it works, then it actually looks pretty cool. But we'll have the other cameras as backup. So I'm going to go start that other camera, and we'll be right back, and we'll do some shooting at 50 yards here with our Air Arms. Be right back. Okay, so I want to try and stay. I just filled this up, so we're good there. I want to try and stay. I mean, I probably have one in it, don't I? No, okay. All right. All right, so I want to try and stay on this fill. I don't want to have to go fill it up if I don't have to. So we're going to do 5-shot groups, and let's just start. Power level 5. I'm going to get a new string going. So save that one. Okay, we're going to do a new string. And we're all set. And let's do it. It's all right. 5 shots. Hopefully I'm still on target. Okay, it is dead calm. When I sighted this in, it wasn't this calm. So let's see how we do. Oh, turn this on. Okay.
928.
A little low, right?
928. 930. 930. 930.
Okay, that last one was either a flyer or something happened, but that's all right. We put 4 shots very, very close. Obviously, I could make the scope be a little better. Let me stop that. I'm going to switch power, and I don't know where I'm going to hit. So we're not going that much slower, so I might be like half a mil low. I don't know. I'm already low. I'm going to use the, well, you guys are going to see it. It may be like a 1/4 mil on this scope. We'll see. Did I cock it? I did not. All right, so let's go ahead and shoot this. I'm going to save this. And we'll do a new string, because that gave us a spread of 2 feet per second, standard deviation of 1. I mean, that is pretty awesome. Granted, that's only 5 shots, I know, but still. Of all the ones I've been shooting, they've all been 290 or 928 and 930, maybe 931, but it's all been very, very tight that way. All right, let's see, view shots. Okay, so we're on power level 4. Just double check. We're cocked. Let's see. I'm going to aim. We're recording, so I'm going to aim for the left bull, and I'm going to just shoot a 1/4 mil holdover.
891. 891. 893. 893.
Sounded funny.
891.
So that is all in something like that. So I would say I would probably shoot this on 4 power. Save my shots, shoot on 4 power. I think that would be great. Let's see what we got for power, for pressure here. All right, we're at like 160, so we're okay. I'm going to try it. Let's try 3 power. Now that was a 100 foot per second drop. So we're going to go from 890 down to 790, and that's a pretty good drop. That's a pretty good drop. Let's see how we do. So that last group, again, spread of 2, wow, a standard deviation of 1. So if we shot 10 shots or 20 shots or 30 shots, obviously that's going to open up a little bit, but it doesn't open up much, let me just tell you. Very, very good regulator here. All right, save that one. It may be one of the things we'll do in a video is we'll just test the reg on different power settings and see if it makes a difference. Maybe run like 30 shots through it or something. So maybe we'll do that. If you guys want to see that sort of reg test, let me know in the comments. We'll make that happen. Okay, I think I saved it. Just in case, we'll save it again. Oh, I did. New string. Okay. All right. Few shots. All right, so we're going to go down to power level 3. Now this, I do not know where I'm going to be hitting. I'm going to try, like, I'm going to try 3/4 of a mil. Let's see here. Are we still recording? We are, yay, okay.
$798.
We're going to give that a shot. We'll just use that hold.
$796. $798. $796. $798.
All right, so we're still looking at, that's still 25 foot-pounds, almost 26 foot-pounds. So in the big picture of things, that's still good energy in a 22. I mean, obviously PCPs do a lot more energy, but if you were plinking squirrels, jackrabbits, that kind of stuff, that's almost 26 foot-pounds, 25 and a bit. So again, we're looking at a spread of 2, standard deviation of 1. So, I mean, when you're looking at this, I mean, granted, we'd have to move our scope, right? I mean, we'd have to shift things around a bit. But it may be that with a little bit of change and perfect conditions, power level 3 might be just fine if you're just target shooting and you don't need the power, even at 50 yards. So I think that's pretty cool. I hope you guys learned something today. I want to say thank you to Air Arms for sponsoring AirgunWeb and everything we're doing here. Hawke Optics for the scope and Predator Pellets for the pellets and all the guys that make this happen. So thank you very much. Here comes the wind. Yep, there it is. That would have been fun to shoot with on power level 3. Anyway, thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you guys for watching and your comments and your likes and all that stuff. I really do appreciate it. Helps us keep doing what we're doing. If you want to know anything about the products we have here, the scope, anything you see here, if you want to know more about it, I'll have links in the video description. And once again, thank you guys for watching. My name's Rick Utzer here with AirgunWeb, your home for old school airgun reviews and where we tell you the facts, not fluff. Thanks for watching.